And Addy Soldiers, this is Joan Combs here, and I don't know if I'm going to break down crying in this video. I am depressed. We ended up having some bad news this week. If you guys have not watched my channel, if you've watched my channel, and if you've known me personally, whether you're a family member or a friend, then you personally know me. You personally know what's going on. If you have not heard already, then you're getting ready to hear. We had to say goodbye to my mother Monday night. She has been on at the beginning of the year in November, she had a heart attack. She had multiple strokes in her brain from a urinary tract infection that became a kidney infection and had abscesses on her kidneys, and it became sepsis. They were finally able to drain the kidneys. They were able to fight a lot of the infection. We still think a lot of the infection was still there because she was prescribed an antibiotic after she actually got out of her coma. And I mean, she had those strokes, so those were permanent. But she came back out of it. She came out of her coma. She was fine. I mean, the doctor said that she wasn't going to make it and stuff like that. But she fought. She fought back, and she was able to spend as much time with us as possible. But her health kept declining. They prescribed antibiotics, and the insurance company would not approve it. My stepfather actually tried to contact her doctor to try to have it switched over for an antibiotic the insurance would actually cover. They never did do that. Um, Her kidneys have been shutting down for since the beginning of the year. She's had a lot of medical problems since then. She's had a lot of kidney problems. She's had a lot of stomach problems. This last time she was complaining about stomach problems and not being able to breathe. When she got into the hospital, when she was admitted into the hospital, I found out late at night because I was doing an airsoft event and I was spending time with a friend. It was their birthday, so I went ahead and was spending time with them. I won't go into too much details. I'm not trying to go into too much details. I don't think I'm going to share a picture of her on this video just due to the fact the only pictures I have are with me and other people in it, and that is more of a personal type of thing. I'm going to keep that as a discretion type of deal. But I found out she was admitted into the hospital, and her blood pressure was continuously declining. They had her on several blood pressure medicines trying to keep her blood pressure going, and her blood pressure kept declining. The problem with blood pressure is if your blood pressure is too low, your body's not getting blood flow. It's not getting enough blood flow to the organs and in the body, and so she had multiple organ failure. Her kidneys were the first things that shut down because her body became sepsis. She ended up getting sepsis again. Her body has been declining since the time that she was hospitalized in November, so her health has been on a nonstop decline. Um, Her kidneys were the first things to shut down. Her liver was the second thing to shut down. That there's also medical past histories because of the liver, but that was also deterrent. That was also one of the other organs that shuts down first. Is first it goes kidneys, then it's usually the liver, and then the pancreas, and then your brain, and then your heart. Uh, she had no blood pressure for 2 days. Her blood pressure was continuously declining, and my mother never wanted to live a life as a vegetable, is what we like to call it. As a people, you'll hear people say it. You'll hear them call you a vegetable. Basically, you're just not there. You're alive, but then you're not there. But her health deteriorated so fast in 2 days that she was turning purple in a lot of her parts of her body. A lot of her skin was separating from her body, and they started talking about certain things that they would have had to have done even if she would have survived. But I'm not going to go into too much detail. Obviously, if you guys know medical facts. But Monday, September 14th, 2020. If 2020 couldn't get any worse, it does personally for us. We've already lost a family member this year, and we ended up losing another one, and that was my mother. My mother has passed away. Um, it was a very, very hard decision. They took CPR off the table because it would have done way too much damage to her, and I think we were holding on to something that just wasn't there. When they started talking about if she would have even survived this, which there was zero chance of her surviving, she was 100% dependent on life support this time. Pretty much everything, the blood pressure medicine and the ventilator was what was keeping her alive. Basically, it was just flesh, just sitting there. Her spirit was there with us, letting us know that it was time for her to go. Um, God made it very, very clear that it was not in His will to let her live. And even if she did, I don't know what life she would have had afterwards because of what they were talking about having to do to her. And that's not what Mom would have wanted. So we had to say goodbye to my mother. Right now, she went peacefully. I prayed that the Lord would take her out, would let her go peacefully. She didn't have any struggles with. There was no breathing. She didn't struggle to breathe when they took the ventilator out. She didn't struggle with the blood pressure. Blood pressure when they took her off the blood pressure, it declined. It was going to keep declining whether she was on it or not. It was either she was going to die with a ventilator tube in her, or she was going to die peacefully. So she ended up dying peacefully, and it's sad. It's sad to say that because that's my mother. But what else I prayed? I prayed that the Lord would do something else with her, and she's in heaven now. She's whether you believe in angels or not, or guardian angels or not, I believe that she is now officially a guardian angel over my family, and she's definitely in heaven. She was definitely a born again woman. She loved Jesus more than anything. She just had a lot of problems in her life, just like anybody else. People struggling with the flesh over and over again, and it's real, real rough. But it was it was the only option we had. It was just one of those things where it was the hardest decision I had to make. It was the hardest decision for my family to make, and it was just one of those things where we wish we didn't have to have that option, or have that only option. It was just one of those things where the saying goes, you have your arm tied behind your back and you have to make that decision. And when she went, I think I'm more at comfort with it because I know what happened in that hospital room, and I know where she is now. I'm depressed. I still cry a little bit, but I'm comforted because I know where she is. I know she's in a better place, and I know that God is taking care of her now, and I know we did what she would have wanted done. Obviously, she would have wanted to live if that was her option, but she didn't have that option. It was either be a vegetable or go peacefully, and she went peacefully. So it's sad to say, but somebody, because you hear rest in peace all the time, somebody brought it up in a Facebook group, for a Christian Facebook group that I'm in, and they said rest in heaven, or RIV, or RIH, rest in heaven. I like that. That's a good one. Thought I'd bring this up to you guys, let you guys know. I know this is more personal. I just thought I'd let you guys know that it's a loss that hurts our family. She's going to be missed. She was very, very loved by anyone and everyone that came across her. Anyone that talked to her or knew how much of a great heart that she had. She was a great person, had a great heart. She would have gave the shirt off her back for you if you needed it. She was that type of person where she would lay down her own life for her own family just so they could live. And it's gonna be rough not having her physically here, but knowing that she's spiritually with me, and knowing that she's watching over me and watching over my children and watching over my family and my friends, and helping God guide me to a better future. Um, she's been given getting more of a responsibility. She's not having to suffer from the pains that we have to suffer here. She doesn't have no more pain. She doesn't have to suffer from hate or sadness or grudges or regrets or grief or any of that stuff. She is happy. She's healthy now. She's she's spending time with family members that me and my family hasn't seen in years and in months. She's spending time with my Lord and Savior. She's getting to see Him and getting to walk on the streets of gold. So, and she's getting to fly with the angels. So she's flying with Jesus, and she's flying with my family members, and she's flying with the angels of God, and she's having a better time in heaven than she would have had down here suffering. Because I don't know what life she would have had if she did survive. It would have been a lot harder for her, and it wouldn't have been something that she would have wanted. So it sucks that she didn't live through this last hospitalization, and it sucks that we had to say goodbye to her. But that's God's will. God tells you when it's time to go, and if I'm telling you, if you're not born again, you need to get right with God. Even if you struggle with sin afterwards, that would be between you and God. You will have to deal with that on your own terms, but getting saved now, that's one thing you need to that should be one of your highest priorities before anything else. Because I'll tell you, the next second you could be gone within a heartbeat and never even know it. It's one of those things where life is very, very precious and is very, very fragile. So, and every one of us makes mistakes, and every one of us struggles with sin, and every one of us has something that we have to deal with. Every one of us has some form of regret in our life that we wish we wouldn't have done, and wish we could have taken back time to erase that. But we can only forgive our enemies and forgive our past and ask the Lord to forgive us and to move forward. And that is what my mother would have wanted for me. She said that she was proud of me, she loved me, and she wanted me to be happy. And I'm going to do that for her. I'm going to try to be... Right now I'm suffering from this week because she passed away. It's going to be real, real rough not having her around. And I'm suffering from the depression. But I think I'm more at peace because I know what happened in that room. And I don't want to go through this with regrets like I did with my dad. I don't want any regrets with my mom like I did with my dad. So I'm going through this, and I'm not going to have any regrets. I'm going to be sad, and I'm going to miss her. But I know she's spiritually with me, and I know she's got a bigger purpose now. Being in heaven and serving God, she's at peace, and she's got a lot of... She's happy. She's with family members that she hasn't seen in years, and that she missed all of her life, and now she gets to see them again. And she also gets to sit there and protect me and my family, and trying to guide us to a better future. And it's just so anyone that did know my mom, if you know me personally, if you knew my mom, you knew how much she loved people, and she loved you very much. For the people that didn't meet my mom, let's just say this: if you would have met her, you would have. It would have been one of those things of where nobody ever hated my mom. It was very hard to hate my mom. She was basically known as the neighborhood mom. So it's definitely gonna be very, very rough this year. But so sorry about tears. I mean, it is hard to get over this. It's just... So right now I'm trying to get over it. God has opened more views to my eyes, He's opened up a new future for me. He's made it to where it's very clear on what I should be doing and what I need to be doing. And I'm going to be fighting for my mother, and I'm going to be doing what made me happy. I'm going to get back into it. I'm not going to give up on it because the day that she was hospitalized was the last day that I got to talk to her. Um, the day I left, I was leaving for my airsoft event early in the morning, and Mom was sitting there on the couch, smoking her cigarette and stuff like that. And I sat there and said, "Mom, I'm getting ready to go to my airsoft event." And she sat there and said, "I love you and be safe." And I said, "I will, and I love you too." That was the last time I talked to her. And that day, that was this past Saturday, and my airsoft gun went down on me, and I sat there and told my buddy, he's been working on another airsoft gun for me for the last 2 months, and it's been a pain that it's been a headache. If you guys want to watch the airsoft video I have for the e-Vike warning or whatever, go ahead and check that out. I sat there and said after this, if you can't get that airsoft gun working, just try to sell it or whatever. And I think I'm done airsofting. So, and I sat there and once I found out Mom was hospitalized and all that other stuff, and Mom passed away, it I think God opened my mind. I think He opened my heart. He sat there and said, because things get hard, don't give up. Because somebody robs you of something, or robs you of your faith or your hope, or because somebody was crooked and sold you a faulty product or something like that, or tried to steal from you or hurt you, you got to forgive and forget it. I mean, even if you don't forget it, you got to forgive it and just move on. You just got to let it go and try to move on with your life the best you can. And after Mom's passing, since that was the last day that I saw her uh, physically talking to me, I will be continuing to airsoft in her honor, but I will make sure that I take care of my financial priorities first, because that's going to make me happy, because I need to know that I'm okay and know that I'm secured, and make sure that I move on to a better future. That means I'm going to try to be working on getting a better job. I'm going to try to see if I can't go back to, I'm going to see if I can't go to college, see if I can't go to like business marketing or something. I'm sorry, I'm trying to take a sip of this. It's just it's been very, very rough. So hopefully you guys, sorry about that, guys. That somebody was knocking on my door. It's dinner time actually, and anyway, I'm not gonna rant anymore. I just wanted to let you guys know the status of my mother. She has officially passed away. She is now officially flying with my family members that have been that have passed away, and is flying with the Lord Jesus Christ, and is flying with His angels. So she's gained her wings and she's flying, and she's I know she's watching over me, and I know she wants me to have a better future, and I know the plans for my future. But like I said in the last clip, obviously this is gonna be two different clips because it got interrupted. But anyway, um, I'm gonna continue to do airsofting. It'll be in her honor. I'm gonna try to learn how to work on the airsoft guns. I've been having somebody tech on my guns, and it's just one of those things where if I'm gonna continue doing this hobby, I'm gonna have to learn how to tech on my own stuff. And like I said in that last clip, financial priorities will come first. So if I can't replace a part or something like that, it's just going to have to wait. It's either, food and gas and bills, or it's toys and become homeless. Is basically what it comes down to. It has also opened my eyes to limit certain hobbies and start doing things that I like to do, like reading books. I like to do my tarot readings. I like to pray to God. And I like to burn my incense and stuff like that. I like to watch TV a little bit. Not TV, but some of the TV shows I watch. And I like to play airsoft. It was one of those things where I had fun. I got to meet some great people. There's a couple times where I've gotten a little upset, but I didn't sit there and yell at anybody. I just got a little upset. I was like, what? Just one of those things where it's just like, it's just a game. And I don't know if I don't know if I'm gonna play video games again. I know I jump into them every once in a while. I'll turn on a video game and I'll play it, but mainly the priority here is trying to get my life back together. It is time to move to the future. I moved to my home to my where I used to live as a child when I grew up as a child to come and help try to take care of my mother. And now that she's passed, I guess it kind of feels like there's no purpose. It feels like I kind of gave up everything to lose something. But it's kind of like one of those things where I get this feeling that mom has reinsured me. It's like, all because I'm gone doesn't mean you can't move on with your future. You got to spend time with me a little bit more and then say goodbye. I mean, me and my mom had a bond that it was just one of those things where it's just me and her had a bond that was unbreakable. It was she was my mother and my best friend. So it was one of those things where we were the only ones that had each other when I was growing up. It was when we needed somebody, we were there for each other. So it was just mom was one of those people where not only was she a mother, but she was a best friend. She's a grandmother. She was a grandmother. She was an aunt, a sister, a great daughter. She was a great granddaughter. She was a good friend. She was a good wife to my stepfather. She spiritually, because they never legally got married, but they were spiritually married. But she was a good person in general. If there was any definition of a good person, I know the Bible says there's no good person, no, not one on earth. But if there was a definition of a good person, besides the fact of what the Bible says on that part, if you want to talk about a good-hearted person or a great-hearted person, my mother was the definition of a great-hearted person. And she is going to be surely missed. I know she's spiritually with me. I know she's spiritually with my children and with my family and my friends. And she's watching over us. Our family is becoming guardian angels, and they're building their army to watch over us right now. And right now we need as many guardian angels as we can get, because I'm telling you, this world is getting worse and worse and worse. And I'm telling you, for everybody that watches this video, if you've got a loved one or a family member, and if you've got any grudges against anybody or any such thing as that, forgive and let it go, and try to make up as best as you can. Because I'm telling you right now, when it comes down to the end of it, that's it. You don't get to have that time back. You don't get to have that closure. You don't get to sit there and forgive when it's over with. I mean, you can forgive, but they don't. I mean, they'll know that you forgive them when they're spiritually leaving. But if they're not saved, they're going to a pit of fire. It's just going to happen. So make sure you're spending as much time with your loved ones and your friends, and make sure you're being nice to people and being respectful as best as you can, and defend yourself. I mean, if you have to defend yourself and people don't like if they don't like you, just tell them, go away. Leave. If you don't like who I am, leave. I mean, it's just as simple as that, right? But be respectful about it, you know? Make sure that you are spending your life and making sure that you do stuff that's not going to harm somebody, harm somebody else, like airsoft. Oh, airsoft, well, it harms people. But it's one of those things where, here's what I'm going to say. Just make sure you have common sense in this. When I say this, do what makes you happy, okay? As long as it's not like radical or something like that, like go burn a building or something like that. Don't do something like that. But I mean, go do stuff that makes you happy. Like if as long as you make sure that you have everything you need taken care of, like make sure your bills are taken care of. If you got a family, make sure your family's taken care of. If you're in a rough spot and stuff like that, make sure you're trying try to do as much as you can to get out of that spot. And then go chase after what you really, really want to do. Like if you want to write or play music or play even video games or airsoft or read or write or sing or dance or swim or go do a sport or even create something. Make sure you do what you need to do. Make sure you get what you need taken care of. And if you've got spare money or spare time, make sure you're spending that time with your loved ones. And if you don't have any loved ones, or if you just don't have time to spend with your loved ones, and they don't have time to spend with you because they're busy doing their life stuff, make sure you're doing stuff that you enjoy and that you love. Make sure you're taking every second of this life as serious as you can, but also not so serious that it's going to make you like a Scrooge or something. Make sure that you are happy. Make sure that you're having fun and enjoying your life. Don't be reckless. Don't be trying to put your life in danger or anything, or putting somebody else's life in danger. And if you do, I mean, just you're going to pay the consequences for it and apologize if hopefully nobody gets hurt during that problem if you make a mistake or whatever. Everyone, like I said, everyone makes mistakes, but don't try to sit there and justify it because it's not going to be justified. Everyone sins, everyone makes mistakes. You got to sit there and ask the Lord to forgive you, and whoever you committed that sin against, or if you committed that sin against yourself, you got to ask for forgiveness. If they don't forgive you, then so be it. But make sure that you are living this life with trying to go through this life. If you have regrets, trying to put those regrets behind you. Try to make up for them as much as you possibly can, and try to make your life better. Try to move better. If you've got a bad past, keep that in the past. Or try to erase that history and just move to the future for something better. Don't hold grudges against people. Don't try to sit there and try to justify something. Don't try to harm people. Try to move to a better life. Try to move to a more positive life. All my life I've been negative. All my life I've had a bad, negative life. It just, every day has been a bad day. And it just gets worse and worse and worse and worse. At some point, you're either one, going to break and you're just going to go down and you're not going to get back up, or two, you're going to break and you're going to go down and you're going to get back up and you're going to stand up better than ever. That doesn't mean you're not going to fall down again. You're going to fall down throughout this whole entire life until you pass. If you're born again, you're going to go to heaven. You're not going to have to deal with this pain and suffering anymore. And since Mom's passing, it's just like one of those things where I need to live for her. I need to live for my children. I need to live not just for them, but I need to live for myself. Because all my life I've tried to live for other people, trying to make them happy, because that's just something I've always done. I've always followed my mom's heart and always tried to put myself back, but I've always been greedy, but I've always tried to put myself there to help people, and it's always put my life behind. And then when I put my life at the forefront and then become greedy, then it also hurts me too. So it's where I'm trying to find the intermediate of I need to stop being negative, be positive, and try to move for a better future for me, for my mom, for my children, for my family, my friends, and even for my enemies. Because if you do that in front of your enemies, that stabs them harder than any knife or any stick or any words that you could throw at somebody. To move on and make a better life for yourself, that shows an example of saying, hey, I forgave you, or you forgive me, and we move on to a better future. It's either that or you stay in the past and you keep getting hurt by your past. My mom's example is she had determination and she had guts of saying, I'm going to move on for a better future. I'm going to move on. I'm going to keep making a better future. And she always lived with that. She always had that optimism of saying, I'm going to get up. I'm going to get up and start walking again. I'm going to get up and start making food for us. We're going to get up and spend time with each other. She always had that optimism, and she always had that heart of saying, if you need something, if I can give it to you, I'm going to give it to you. She was just always there for people. And I was always there for people. The lesson learned is that my mom said that she was proud of me, she was happy for me, and she wanted me to be happy. And I've never really actually been happy. The only time I've actually been happy is with my kids and with my family and with my friends. And then I've always tried to find hobbies that made me happy, and then I've had so many hobbies, and some of them don't make me happy, and then some of them do make me really happy. And one of the hobbies that are now going to stick with me because it's going to be out of honor for my mother, and it's going to be something I'm going to learn and try to pursue. And then it also sat there and has opened up a gateway of saying, I need to move forward to my future. I need to start putting myself, I need to put God first, of course, but I need to start putting my life first. I need to make my life better. Because if I don't, then my mom's death is going to be in vain. And it honestly, I can't really say that because it'll never be in vain. But it'll feel like that to me because it'll feel like I failed my mother. But then my mom told me that she was proud of me and happy. She was happy with what I was, she was happy with my job and happy that I had kids and happy that I was trying to make myself happy, trying to do things I loved. And I was trying to find something that I loved to do. And I think she's set that in place of where I like military stuff, so I'm going to stick with that because it honors my whole entire family that's fought in the military. My mother was born in the Vietnam era. So I'm going to stick with doing stuff that I'm going to limit the stuff that I can't afford and that I just don't really want to deal with and limit it down to stuff that I enjoy and stuff that I could spend time with friends and family with and spend and meet people. And I'm going to pursue a better career and I'm going to try to do better. And if I fall down, I fall down. If I can't get back up, then that was God's will of me not getting back up. But I don't want to sit there and lay down and sit there and say I can't get up because I don't want to get up. I want to sit there and be put down and say you're not going to get back up because God says you're not going to get back up. I want to be that person that gets up every day and says I'm going to fight because that's going to be my will is fighting. And I'm going to fight this depression as long as I can. I've suffered depression all my life. I've suffered anger and anxiety and regrets and all this other stuff all my life. And my mom's passing has affected me. It has affected me. I thought it was going to break me in a negative way. I thought it was going to break me and I wasn't going to get back up. I may not get back up. I don't know. Maybe this is just a healing process of me, of mom sitting there saying, you're going to get back up. You're just going to go through a rough time right now, but you're going to get back up and I'm going to make you get back up. And I think that's mom's spirit in me sitting there saying, you're going to get back up because I'm going to pick you back up. God's with me. He's going to pick you back up. We're going to pick you up together. We're all going to pick you up as a family. We're going to pick you up and we're going to lift you up and you're going to have to move forward. Because if you don't move forward, you're not moving forward for your mother. You're not moving forward for your family. You're not moving forward for yourself and you're beating yourself up for something you couldn't control. Something you couldn't help. So I love my mother. It's gonna be hard moving on without her physically, but spiritually knowing where she is has been a reinsurance. So for all my family and friends out there, sorry for anything that I've done wrong to you. I hope you forgive me, and I hope you forgive anything that my mother's did wrong to you. And I forgive you of anything you've done wrong to me. I just want us to move together as friends and family. And I want us to move forward for mom. And I want us to move forward for the family members that we've lost. Because we need to fight for us. And for anybody out there watching this, anybody that you've lost, if you've lost somebody dear to you, move forward for them and for yourself. You've got to keep fighting for yourself and make sure that you keep this life is so precious and so fragile. Make sure you're taking every step you can to take care of yourself and make yourself happy. Make sure you get saved. That is one thing I can give you a tip for, is become born again. If you don't believe it, then that's the way it is. I mean, if that's what makes you happy, it sucks saying that you're gonna go where you're gonna go. But if that's what makes you happy, then so be it. I mean, enjoy your life and spend your life on this earth as best as you can, and make yourself happy and try to get through the hard times as best as you can. But make sure that you're fighting for yourself. And if you got friends and family, make sure you're fighting for them. Make sure there's no grudges. Don't hold any grudges against people. Just keep fighting for yourself. So that will be it for this video. Like I said, rest in heaven, Mom. And for my family members out there, I love you very much. This is gonna be a rough time for us. She's gonna be missed. But I'm wanting to let you guys know she is flying with the angels. God let me know that she was flying with the angels, and that she is with us. And I love you guys so much. And for the people that are watching that have supported me through this channel, that have enjoyed my videos and my content, thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for supporting my family. For all the people that, if anyone stumbles across that, it's prayed for my family and has prayed for my mother and prayed for me and prayed for my friends and my enemies out there, thank you. I mean, thank you for watching, and thank you for supporting me, and thank you for building who I am. And I'm going to put the past in the past. I'm going to let bygones be bygones. And I'm going to put the bad in the past. It's going to roll up on me. I mean, that your past will always roll up on you, but I'm going to keep putting it back, and I'm going to keep pushing it back, and I'm going to move it on for a better future. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen, but at least I know that I'll go through this life without regrets of saying that I didn't try. I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that I'm not going to live through this life being negative all the time and pushing my future down because I didn't think I could do this and I didn't think I could do that. I'm going to move forward and say, at least I tried to do it, and that's all I can say is I tried. And that I fought as hard as I could, and I tried to make my mom as happy as I could and made her as proud as I could. And make myself happy and make myself proud of what I'm trying to do and making myself happy. But not let that pride get a hold of you either, because that pride can get a little, it can get bad. It can make you an egomaniac type of deal. But proud enough to where you're happy with your life and that there's regrets, but you're not. But those regrets aren't going to take over your life like it did mine. So that'll be it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Obviously this is not a video to be enjoyed. Just letting you guys know the bad news. Please be respectful in the comments below. Please, no vulgar, no cussing. If you guys want to leave your sympathies, go for it. If you don't have to. Definitely hit the like button for my mom. And hit the subscribe button. Hit that bell for notifications for my mom. Definitely support my family at this point. This is, this is a rough time for us. And, I'm gonna move on. I'm gonna try to work on this channel as much as I can, but I don't want it dictating my life like it has in the past. But I'm gonna move on with my life. I'm gonna honor my mother, and I'm gonna make a better future for me, and make a better future for my children, and for my family and my friends. And I'm gonna stick something in my enemies to where it's like, I'm gonna stick that success and that fighting for the future thing, as hard into them as possible, and let them see that even though they were my enemies and tried to push me down, it never pushed me down type of deal, because Mom strengthened me and she picked me back up. So that'll be it. Like I said, if you got family and friends, spend as much time as you possibly can with them. If you have things that you enjoy, that you enjoy doing, make sure you pursue that thing that makes you happy. Make sure you're taking care of what you need to take care of. Make sure you take care of your necessities and take care of yourself. And if you are not spiritually saved, born again by the blood of Jesus Christ, make sure you do. And if you don't want to, I mean, that's your decision. That's your freedom. Speaking of freedom, make sure you keep fighting for your freedoms. And if you guys have watched my channel, then you know the outro. God bless you in Jesus Christ's name. That'll be it for this video. Rest in heaven, Mom. Fly high with the angels and Jesus and with our family. So dismissed. Joe comes out.